Hello, hello. This is your Fairy Podmother Megan, and I'm here to make paper stars with you today. And I'll be totally honest, technology, I am a analog girl in a digital world. So if at any point today it cuts out, I will call Nate and he will help us through everything. So I hope y'all are having a great day. Welcome to my craft room. And there's absolutely no pressure to make stars today. If you'd like to make stars, I'd love to have ya. And if you'd love to knit or crochet or really just sit and hang out with us, I'd love to have you in any way you come. So my friends, we're going to turn our attention over to where my hands are. Hopefully you guys can see this. Got some rings over here. And we've just got a nice piece of paper. So everybody grab your piece of paper, whatever you've got. And if you bought some of the pre-cut pieces, then you're set already, my darlings. And one sec, I'm just going to see if this has even started playing. Let's see. Oh, perfect. Oh my gosh. Guys, now we're cooking with gas. All right. So these are pre-cut paper star papers, which we won't be using today. But if you have those, feel free to use them. There we are. And so with our paper, my darlings, we're going to grab a ruler. And if you didn't grab one yet, go ahead and go grab one. We're going to make a bunch of stars today, so you've got plenty of time. So with this, we're going to find 1 centimeter right there. We can see it. 1, boop. And we're going to make a little mark with a pencil. So while you're up grabbing your ruler, why don't we grab a pencil or a pen or a marker or a gel pen, something fun, and grab something that you can write with. And we're going to make a little mark right at 1 centimeter. Now I've got this little rolling one, but any ruler will do, any straight edge will do. You can use the side of a book if it's best for you, but we are just going to make a line that goes all the way down the paper, straight-ish, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. And now that I've got my paper, oh, and I had 2 pieces, so I'm going to actually make 2 big strips while I'm doing this. So I'm going to take my scissors, and if y'all didn't grab scissors yet, it's okay. Go grab some scissors. We're going to walk through this like 10 times because we might start by making a star or a piece of chewing gum, or it could be a supernova, an exploded star, and we're just going to do our best today. And our best is whatever we create. We're not going to stress. So when you got your little cutting implement here, we're going to go ahead and just start slicing that up. And see, it's not perfect, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be. And I think the one underneath got real shifted, so that one's not going to work at all. So I've got 1 paper strip now. Perfect. And so once I've got that, the main step here is starting with a loop. And so I'm going to curl this paper around my thumb so that I've got a bit of a loop going here. We want it to crisscross. And so there, and it looks about like that. Hopefully you guys can see that. Like I said, I'm a vinyl record in an MP3 world, so here we go. And so this is what I'm going to call the first tail. So this first tail, we want to tuck underneath. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but now we've got that going. And I want to take my fingers and pull this through nice and slow. And what I don't want to do is pull it too hard. I don't want there to be too much tension. I don't want there to be too much creasing. And I just want to gently start pulling it. And I can't tell if you guys can tell what this is. So we are going to do this. We're going to pull that. Here we go. So now we've got this. And let's see if I can get that right up there for you. So we got a nice little knot, nice little twist. But as you see, I didn't crumple up the tail. It's not tucking in. It's not pulling over. And so I just want to push that gently from this side where the long tail is and push that up a bit. And now I'm just going to gently press it. I don't need to crease it too hard. I just need to press it. And as you can see, we've got some hard angles going now. We've got 1, 2, the top layer, we've got 3, we've got 4 right here. And then with this one, I want to create my 5th angle on this. So I've tightened it up just a little bit. And now I'm going to gently fold the little tail over. And I'm going to go ahead and actually crease this so that it makes that 5th hard angle. And now we have the base of a pentagon. So right there. But now you notice your tail's all waggly. It's all over the place. So we're going to go ahead and fold it in half if you need to. All of our tails are going to be different sizes. And we are going to slowly tuck it underneath that first piece of paper right there on top. See, my tail, I had to tuck my tail. And now I need to gently press my tail under there. And so what I'm left with is a little pentagon with it looks like a shooting star. I've got a pentagon with a real long tail. And this will be the start of our star or chewing gum, whatever it turns into. I'd say every 3rd one's a star, and I don't worry about it too much. So with our new tail, long shooting star tail, you're going to notice that it knows exactly where it wants to go. So we gently start to press the tail over this first hard edge, and it automatically just diverts over to the right. So it knows what side of the pentagon it would like to go to. Now, oh gosh, I'm trying to think of exactly how Catherine described this in Paper Stars, the bonus episode from season 12. And she described it, it's not creasing it, it's gently guiding it or folding it, because if we crease it, then we've got the issue of the star not holding air later. So we're going to slowly just kind of, let's say, bend it over the angle that it wanted to go to. And now look how it shoots to another side. Let's bend it over that one. Oh, and now it just automatically goes over to that side. So now I'm going to gently bend it. And now it went over to this side. Now I'm going to gently bend it back. And I'm just going to keep doing this over and over. Here we go. So slowly you'll notice that it's just following suit. It's telling you where it wants to go, much like the universe does. And we are just going to follow this over and over and over until we get to the end. And now my tail is not quite long enough to tuck in anywhere. But if I go back a little bit, I'm like, oh, I got a whole bunch of tail that can tuck underneath this piece of paper right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck the tail again just a little bit on the end. And hopefully y'all can see this. This is also my first time ever using 2 cameras. So we're learning a lot today together and giving a lot of grace, mostly to me, and I appreciate it. So we are going to pop this in there. And now I've got, it's kind of a little pentagon. It's working there. So I'm going to try to tuck that a little bit more underneath there. So it's just, and you don't want to go too flat. You don't want to smush your guy, or else then you get this and it won't pop up. And I did that. And what we're mainly looking for, ooh, I forgot to show you guys these, are stars. If we can on this one, we're just starting. We're going to do a couple more. So this general shape, when you push through the sides, will start to puff the star up. So what I do is I take pointer, thumb, and I'm going to put them on 4 different sides and just see what feels good. I might need to move it around to find the one that feels really good to me. And I'll start gently just kind of pressing in, and it's a real gentle motion. I can't stress that enough, because if we push it too hard, we're going to squish it. And it's okay. If we end up with a shooting star, we're not going to worry about it. And here we go. Or an exploded star. I guess that would be a supernova. So we're just going to keep pressing on each side. press in on each side. Press in on each side just a little bit, and we're kind of making little curved motions, little curves in this. Let's see. Let me try to angle this cool little camera thing I got. All right. So here's this. And see, it looks kind of like it's been sitting in the milk of some Lucky Charms for a little bit too long. And honestly, I love it. It's so pretty. See, and this one was more like a chewing gum one yesterday, but I just kept mushing it. And then eventually it turned into kind of more of a star. But it was beautiful as chewing gum too, so I didn't worry about that. So guys, now that I think that I got my technology down, thank you for coming on this ride with me. We're going to start again. So let's start on our second star. So we want to grab a piece of paper. And we need a ruler of some sort, anything that will give you guidance. Here is 1 centimeter right there. So I'm going to put it right at the angle of my paper. So I've got it right on the side where the 1 is. And now I'm going to make a mark where the 1 centimeter is. And then, and now with my little roly ruler, but any straight edge again will do. Use a book, use a edge of a desk, anything that you've got laying around will do. We want to work with what we have and not stress about what we don't have. And so now I've got my pencil or my marker, and I am going to gently just guide that along. And then I'm going to take my tiny little scissors, which if you have a cutter, little Cricut one, or one of the guillotine cutters, or an X-Acto knife, or a rotary cutter that is not specifically for fabric, because we know from many of Catherine's stories and from any craft room that you've walked into, there's fabric scissors and then there are paper scissors. So these are some of my paper scissors. And so I've got that on there. And so my dears, we are going to cut again. We're just going to do our best. We're not going to worry about it. If it goes a little wonky, maybe it's supposed to be wonky today. There we go. And just keep cutting, 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 all the way to the top. Boop. Now I'm going to set my paper out of the way. Set my scissors out of the way, safety first. And now let's start again. So we've got long strip of paper, and we want to make the loop. And however you make the loop makes sense to me. In fact, how you do anything makes sense to me because it only has to make sense to you. So from here, we've got our nice little loop going, kind of like a little ribbon. I love that look. And we want this short tail to come underneath, and we want to curve it around so that we can pull it through the loop. So we want to pull it through. So again, making the loop, little tiny tail, oh hi tail, and then we're going to pull it through just a little bit. And what I like to do is I've got my long tail here. Let's pop this up a little bit so you guys can see all that. So I got long tail here and I've got short tail here. And if I hold onto my short tail and I take my thumb and my pointer, I can gently guide this little knot without folding it or creasing it. I can just guide it down slowly towards the short end. And so once I get there, I'm just going to slowly press down. Again, it's not like squishing a flower in a book to keep forever. It's just slowly pressing it down. There we go. So that it stays, but we don't want to crush it. So again, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and we want 5 because we want a pentagon to make the star shape. If you don't want to make a star shape, oh my gosh, you can crumple it up. I mean, we'll do that in a second too, because it's just nice to crumple things sometimes. So here, we're going to find our 5th angle, and mine's about right here. I'm like, yeah, that'll work. And if I push it back, I can start bending it. And I want to tighten mine up a little bit because I can already tell it's a little off, or a lot of off, which is okay, but might not go exactly where I want it to go later. So here, and now I'm going to pull this back, fold it, and tuck it in wherever I can. If it tucks in the back, tuck it there. If it tucks in the front, tuck it there. Wherever you can tuck it is fine. So now, again, we've got our shooting star. We've got this little pentagon on top, and we got this long tail over here. And so from here, and I can already tell I'm going to have a little bit of a wonky star, and that's okay. I think that's what we're going to do right now. So with our fifth angle, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 angles. This is my bottom angle. I'm going to gently start to bend this long tail over the top. And again, you don't want to crease it down because it won't fill with air later, unless you want to crease it down. Oh my gosh, who am I to impose rules on anybody? And the tail will just instinctively tell you where it wants to go. So I'm going to slowly bend it over, and I'm going to bend it. Oh, it wants to go this way. And I got to stop right here. I love this so much because I love to see where it goes. Like, it's genuinely a surprise to me every single time. And my husband looked at me and he goes, "Oh yeah, the pattern of it." And I was like, there's a pattern to this? Because I just thought that was so cool that it just goes wherever it wants. So it is also cool to see how people see the world. So I'm going to slowly let this bend over. The universe bends towards kindness. There it goes. It's bending. Oh my gosh. Oh, guys. Oh, Catherine, if you're on here, I got to tell you, I think I've just found my new career, and it's been great at NMH, but it looks like I'm a professional star maker now. I'm going to miss you guys. So here I've got it all the way at the end. And again, my tail was super long. So I'm going to bend it over, and I'm just going to slowly tuck it in. There we go. So now I've got a pentagon-ish thing going on here. So pointer, and for some of you, you might use different fingers. You might use any of your fingers that feel comfortable. For me, it's my thumb and my pointer. Again, do not let me stifle you. And there are so many different ways to make these. I think it's important to find the one that works for you or that you just enjoy the most. Or maybe this is your last foray into stars, and that's okay too. We don't stress about any of this stuff. So again, I'm going to put 4 fingers on different parts of the star and just gently press down. Here we go. There we go. You can see already it's a little, it looks kind of like a cow head to me. Mine might have a cow head star. And then if I wanted to, I could keep mushing it though. I can keep mushing these sides. And some people use their nails to carve in. You can do that if you've got nails. I mean, heck, you could probably use your pencil or pen to kind of put right in there. And then I flatten it out just a little bit. Oh, that's cute. I'm always surprised with how they turn out. There. Every star is just a little different, and every star is beautiful. Oh my gosh. It's a star-ish shape. So let's add it to our jar. And guys, let's go through this one more time. So if you just joined us, or if me trying to get my bearings was a little unnerving, now let's see if we can really roll with this. So again, starting with your paper, and you're going to mark 1 centimeter. You know what? I'm going to show you on this. I've already done both other rulers. So for this, you just mark the 1 centimeter, and I'm going to find 1 centimeter on my cutting board here. And I'm going to just slowly press this over. And that's how I'm going to do it right here. So in case you had a cutting board, you've got that. And now, in case you don't, boop, we will do this. Again, work with what you have. I never feel the need to run out and get new things or put a lot of pressure on myself. I just work with what I have, with what I've got that day. And I will tell you, life has been so much easier since I stopped putting imaginary pressure on myself. Here we go. So we've got 1 centimeter, and it's straight-ish. That's all right. Let's see. And I'm just going to make a big, long line down it. And for some people, you might fold, because you could probably just take this and fold back and forth, and then just gently pull them off once you've creased them enough. But for me, I'm going to cut it. So here is down here. Boop. Nice and slow. And I will tell you that if you are going to make a lot of stars, I would cut your paper in advance or buy that star paper if you'd like. But that way you don't have to get into the rigmarole of doing this between every star. You can just sit and make a whole jar of stars like I did last night, which is very satisfying to just sit there and zone out and just star away. And I wished on every single one of them. That's a lot of wishes. Okay. So we've got our piece of paper. Boop. And again, we always start, at least with my way of doing it, and of course you can find a different way, is to just loop it. I just loop. I find a loop. Oh, look at that. It's very loopy. And I take my little tail and I'm going to roll it underneath and pull it through. So now I've got a knot starting. And I want to try to slide that knot as much as I can towards my thumb over here, towards the short tail, without bending the paper. So I just want to start to slowly press it that way. Dun, dun, dun. Press it that way. There we go. And now that I've got it over there, I'm going to slide it this way a little bit. And again, I didn't really like crumple the paper underneath it. I just let it relax there. I hope that can focus in. That's my phone. Okay, there we go. My phone camera, I should say. So from here, I'm going to slowly press it down. Just give it a little press. Boop, boop. Kind of like you're checking the top of a cupcake, especially when it's baking. Like you don't want to push too hard or else... Although that would be a delicious. But from here, I've got a little bit more tail than I've had before, and I need to tuck it in. So I'm going to actually fold this in half, and I am going to bend this one, but I'm not pushing it. I'm just creasing it a little tiny bit. I'm gently pressing, if you will. And so on the back, it looks like that's where I'm going to want to tuck that under. So it could be back or front, whatever works for you. Wherever you can tuck this tail is fine. And I'm going to tighten it up just a little bit by pulling the little head of my shooting star down and leaving my tail. So there we go. And we just gently give that a little press. Oh, and my tail's sticking up. So I'm just going to give it a little extra bend. So now I've got pentagon. There we go. Look, I've got, and you can just leave it like that. Put a bunch of shooting stars on your wall. Oh my gosh, that would be great. I mean, don't let anybody stifle you. Do what you want to do. And from here, we're going to slowly bend the paper over. Whatever direction it wants to go, I'm going to slowly bend the paper over. Oh, there it goes. That is just so cool. Bend the paper over. Bend the paper over. And I'm going to let it show me where to go. And sometimes it'll go towards the middle, like right here. But you can feel which way it really wants to go if you find the last little bend that it went over and just slowly bend that again. Guys, that's great. And just slowly go through. We're going to go through. We're going to go through. Oh my good gosh. Look at that. Okay, so we made it through the end of our star. And now we're just going to tuck that in. Oh, there it is. That's working out pretty good. All right. So I've got my little, it reminds me of a Monopoly house sometimes when I really look at it. I'm like, okay. So from here, I'm going to slowly press the sides again. So I take 4 fingers, any which ones that work for you work for me. And I'm going to slowly press in there, press in there, press in there. And star. Oh, this is where I wish that we were all sitting around the table together, because I would love to just look around and see all the stars, and I would love to make a big old jar of all of our stars. You can use different colors. You can use different types of paper with this, which one day I opened up my mailbox, and if you look on right here, this was sitting in it from my Fairy Podmother, Catherine. And it's so exciting. It's got different color patterns. And the paper itself has a little bit more of a sheen to it. It doesn't feel like computer paper, which is a little bit rougher. It's a little bit of a different grade. And I'm going to just show you while we're here. With this stuff, it is a little smoother and it glides a little easier. But again, always work with what you have. If we sit around wishing for what we don't have, we will just have all these stars and be unhappy with them. And I would rather be happy with them. So I'm going to just show you on this one how they turn out. So again, I always start with my loop. And sometimes these are a little bit shorter if we compare this. So that is shorter than a piece of paper. Also, depending on how many stars you want to make, maybe starting with shorter paper might work better if you have a limited amount of time. So let's start with our loop. We pull it under. All right. We slide it down. And I keep sliding. And this one does not bend as much as the computer paper does. So then once we got it down there, oh, look at that. And so I want to tuck, because I'm choosing to have the fabric-y looking side out. It looks kind of like a fabric pattern to me. So because I want the pink side out, I'm going to tuck the white part underneath. But again, if you want the white part out, leave it out. Oh my gosh, we are not getting in our heads about this, are we? So from here, I'm just going to slowly guide this over, guide it over. And it does slide easier in my hands. It doesn't stick like the computer paper does. But I think that the computer paper ones turned out real nice too. So I'm just continuing to fold and bend. I should say bend. I keep saying fold, but I really want to talk about bending, because if we crease it too much, and see, just a little bit of pressure to keep it there. Just a little bit, like that. Now I've got my little pentagon, and I want to make it into more of a star shape. So I'm going to take all 4 of whatever fingers I'm using, and I'm going to press down. Oops, that did not. And see, it pops out, and that's okay. Like I said, it's a supernova now. That's all right. There we go. And actually, see, I got to undo that one a little bit, so this is good too. So instead, I'm going to fold that under. I'm going to put it back underneath the front. So I'm going to undo this. Oh no, look. Yeah, it's okay. Sometimes we have to take things apart. So I'm going to flatten this back out just a little bit. See? This is good. So I'm actually a textile artist. I'm not a paper crafter, believe it or not. And in knitting, we call it frogging when we start to tear apart a project to either use the yarn again or use the material again. And I think that's so funny, because I don't know if somebody just didn't want to swear, but now I say frogging a lot more for things that it was probably not meant for. But that's because I don't swear. So here we go. So let's get that back around there, and I'm going to tuck this under over here. So let's frog that and put it back together. There we go. Oh, and see, a little bit came out. That's okay. I'm not going to stress about that. Oops. So we've got, hold on this. My elbows are sliding on this table. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So from right here, my darlings, we are going to squish the sides, squish the sides, squish the sides, squish the sides. Press it down, squish the sides. There we go. And let's see if we've got that. Ooh, I'm going to do a little bit more on this one because it's puffing out. And sometimes I do start to pinch it. I'll be honest. Once I get to the star part, I do get a little pinchy. And that's okay. So we got that, like that. So guys, we have made it to the end, and this may come as a shock to you, but I used to teach kids yoga, and I also wanted to be a children's librarian growing up. So what I'd like us to do is with whatever shape yours ended up with, whether it is a star, whether it's a kind of pentagon, whether it's a piece of chewing gum, whether it's a little cow head, whatever you got there, I'd like you to make one wish for yourself. It can be anything at all, anything you want. And just close your eyes and just make that wish. And I sure do hope it comes true. Thank y'all so much for coming today. I really appreciate you. XOXO.